Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are and whenever you are watching this replay. Today, we're going to talk about positive and negative space. And negative space, I want you to think about it as something that's already there, something in your life that is already there. And are you overlooking those things in your life? Sometimes when we are adding things to our collages, we aren't we keep adding more and we're not really looking at what may already be there. And so today I'm going to show you some collages that we've created over the last few almost 50 days and point out some of the negative space and how we enhance those areas to embrace what was already there. And if you think about your life, look at those things that are already there and don't overlook them. Just take a minute and a moment, or take a moment, maybe that's the word. Take a moment and reflect on what's there and how that brings value to your life, and and just really understand how that plays a part, right? So, same that we're going to do for our collages today. We're going to look at some collages that we've created and talk about the negative space and how that brought um, value to the collage that we created. And then we're going to continue on with building our collages from yesterday. So, with that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so these collages here, oh, let me get my keyboard out of the way there. These collages here, okay, we've seen this one before, but here's what we added to the collage. We added this blue piece of paper here, and that was it right there. This blue piece of paper that went through here, we added. This is in the background. This collage right here is in the background, and then we added these little boat shapes, and then maybe this little lighthouse thing, if you will. And then we added these two little dots. And that, so we really took control of this collage by adding just this one piece of paper and using the negative space to create this particular collage or piece of art. So, when you sit there and think about that for a minute, you're just like, wait a minute. We took we took advantage of the negative space to create our art. When we created this collage, right? This was 3 strips of paper before we started our collage. We took advantage. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. We added this piece here and these pieces and here and here. And we took advantage of this blue piece and this piece here, like kind of like the sky or the water, right? And these were like became what I would call the rocks. And we took advantage of that. And so we really capitalized on our negative space in this collage. And I just find that these two are very interesting on how simple things that we added to the collage enhanced the negative space. And so sometimes, when we are looking through our artwork or through our life, what's there already that we can embrace? We have imperfections. We need to embrace those a little bit more. Okay, here's a more obvious one, right? You have a circle and you have a hole within the circle. And so we just took a focal point and made this a focal point because of the hole in the circle, and we focused on how the jelly print behind left this little snowflake effect, as I would call it. Okay. Here's another one. Big giant circle with a little dot and some other paper. We were focused in on this section. This is another focal point. So even though we added some positive, we focused in on the negative on this particular one. And again, to background papers, we took one circle, we took another circle, and another circle that had a heart cut out and focused in on the space that the heart left and turned that negative space now more into a positive, because this is not a piece of paper, this is the background of that. And so, throughout these collages, we've been using negative and positive space. Um, this one I find really interesting. It was definitely one of those that we weren't expecting, another scene, so to speak. And granted, I'll probably do some shading on this one as well. Um, but we really enhance the background um, by adding these shapes to here. This background really pops that aurora borealis effect, right, in my mind, and taking advantage of those of the gel print in the back. So again, take inventory of what's in your life now, and um and take a moment and really understand how what's in your life now enhances who you are. Um so that's the positive and negative space and how it can be used in your collages, as we just went through those collages. So we have a couple things here. These are the ones we created yesterday. This one, um, I didn't finish it too much after the live yesterday. We just enhanced a few things. I like the blurriness of the background and then how it really pops forward. Not sure if I'm going to add too much to this one, or is this just it? Um, I may. I may want to really pop this forward. I don't know. I'm still thinking about this one. This one here, we did a lot of stamping, and stamping in collages could represent um, marks that, as I said yesterday, marks in your life or milestones in your life. But for here, I saw this circle piece on this tissue paper, and I think I'm going to add this circle piece to here today. Um, yeah, I think I am. As more of a focal point. Let's see how that looks. So let's just go ahead and get started. And I don't necessarily want to tear this. Okay. I'm just going to audition it first. See how it looks. This is going to go probably on the edge. Really like that background. And the stamp itself, right? The stamp itself is forming the circle through the negative space. Now this is a big piece, and it may cover up a lot of my stamping because it's not tissue paper, it's deli paper. So that's my only concern with this. So do we want, I really like this look. So maybe what we'll do is we will cut off some of the positive space here off our jelly print. And maybe, yeah, that was, maybe we'll put it on there like that. Still really huge. I definitely, here's some negative space right here. And I want to put something right there. I don't know what that is. It's too much negative space on here. That's why I'm adding a little bit of positive and see what comes up from it. But it might be really interesting to use the negative space of this print onto this particular collage, where we are using it more as a positive space. So it's kind of weird because the negative space here is forming the circle, but we're adding it to to the collage that creates a positive space. So it's got like a dual purpose going on there. I don't know. Maybe we won't use that. And maybe it's not the time. We'll maybe use it some other time. I just had to change of mind there in real time. So let's see what else we got in here. We have a lot of little things in the background. So I definitely want to add things to see. I kind of like that there. So we're using the square and the negative space in the square to maybe enhance the circle. I mean the plus symbols and bring forward the stamping. Let's see what else we got. I have these little oh, everything's like attached for some reason. Why are you two attached? I have these little circles. Now, see, that doesn't really show in my mind. It's hard to see that little circle, so we're not going to use that. Sorry, I did not mean for that to go there. But, nope. What else we got? It's about time for me to do some more die cutting. What happens if... trying to flip some of these things over because it's hard to get my fingers around them. How does that look? Let's see, take that off for a minute. Nope. I have these. Nope, too busy. Okay. I like this one. Maybe that could be the thing. Do we have any more? Oh, we have another one. Do we have any more? I'm using this line. You see, there's a line that goes right through here. I'm using the line to kind of be the guide between the two shapes here. Like you have a darker and a light, a dark and light, dark and light. So instead of covering up that line, maybe we're embracing the line. Well, there's a little red one. Kind of like that. Is there any more yellow? Oh, here's another yellow. Okay. But I don't know. Do we want to go all the way across? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe we want to... that one. And let's see here. Oh, here's some more. There's that one. I thought I had another one. Oh, here's these. Maybe we can use these somehow. What is this one? That does pop on there. I'm liking these little half circle things that we haven't used before in the collages, and I have tons of them. So maybe it's time to use them. I'm just digging them out right now. So, I mean, like, we have a lot. Look at all these. That's crazy. Get off my finger. Nope. Nope. Oh, here's it. Oh, well, we had that one. I threw it back in there. Okay. That's more orange, but that might work. Oh, okay. Oh, here's a little baby one. Let's see what we can do with that. All right, I'm liking this idea of these half circles. So let's see here. Mess up everything I just did. I was just looking at something and I was really liking how oh, my fingers today are not working the way I want them to. I think I'm gonna trade this one in for this. Okay, where's the little stick pick? Man, that would make life a little easier. Yes. I was looking at this just a minute ago and I noticed something that resonated with me. And I was using these shapes to create another shape, is what I was thinking about. And it really sparked an idea that I thought was interesting. So we're just going to take a look at this. And maybe I'm just channeling all those flowers I'm making for prom. Um, that's what this is starting to look at to me. It's like a little, I'm using all these positives for the negative to create this little flower looking situation going on. I thought that that was kind of interesting. Maybe I don't want that there. Maybe I want that out here. Oh, wait, there's another one. Let's grab this one. Where'd you go? Okay. Get up here. I didn't see that little heart. The heart comes to mind as well. I've been making flowers for weeks for this prom. And it I even bought a new cutter to help with the production of these flowers. Like if anybody has flowers, like a wall of flowers, yeah. That is some intense work, guys. I just want you to know I did not know that when I went into it. Now, we don't have any yellow, but can you see how we are forming a flower using the positive, but the negative space is really what's providing the color to this flower. I don't know if I want that one or this one. So let's just put those over there. Do I have any more yellow? I just want one more, maybe yellow right there. So let's see if I have another one. You know, I didn't start out to create a flower, but here we are. Is that yellow? Oh, we found one. Yes. Okay. Now, okay. I'm going to pull that back just a little hair. Okay, no, I'm gonna have to glue this back down, and I'm not gonna get in the right spots, but we'll be all right. We're we'll figure it out. Now I saw this, and I thought, well, maybe that could be the stem, but not liking that. So, what else do we have in our little bag of tricks here? That could be like a stem, and it's just really dark, but I like the shape of this. Like this kind of goes, kind of like how that just pops up in there. So what we'll have to do to really enhance this flower shape that we kind of created with the negative space and these little positive half circles or whatever you call these things. Oh, what would be good right here? Ha ha. Check this out. You're probably already thinking of it. Haven't seen one of these in a while. What about one of those? With, maybe that's not the right color. Oh, maybe even this would be better. Little hexagon. Yep. Oh, Sherry, you just messed it all up, but that's okay. We gotta glue it down anyway. And then the other thing I was thinking about over here, and which I wasn't thinking about, what about one of those right there? Maybe that's not the right one. Maybe it needs to be brighter. What does that one look like? That looks better. I don't know. I had a circle. Is it in here or did I throw it in? What is that? Okay, that's not the one I want. Okay. Well, I do have some. Oh, I just made a mess all over here. Can't see it. That's okay. I was thinking, yes, I don't like that either. I don't know. We'll find the right one. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. We'll play with that for a minute. All right. And all these circles are going everywhere right now. Okay. I like how this is looking. I just saw this piece. Perfect. Little piece there. Do I have another one of those? I have this one that kind of looks like that could go there. What happens if we just did this instead? I don't know. I kind of like this big one, but I'm not liking the color of it. So anyway, we'll keep those two there. Now I saw this blue one. That could be one really easily. That could be one as well. And was there another one? Oh, here's one. Mm. I was looking at that doesn't show up too well. Hmm, maybe? Nope. I really liked the first look that I had, which was this guy right here. And I really liked how he came out from the bottom. He's a little big, so maybe we can add. What happens if we layered this blue on top? Well, no, maybe not. Okay, let's see here. We're almost out of time, but we're going to have to glue that down eventually. So, still auditioning pieces here. I saw this piece, but that doesn't fit there. What if this fits here? I kind of like that. It kind of brings in this color here up to there. So I think we're going to go with that. And I'm not seeing another leafy shape, or what I would call leafy shape. So we had a couple of contenders, but I really liked how this just from the ground, it just popped it up. Yeah. So we're going to capitalize on our negative space here to form this flower. And then so I'll go and I'll glue those down, but that's pretty much what it would look like, and then go back in with some shading to really enhance that negative space. Okay, that was purely an accident. I was hoping to create some kind of collages that we've been creating, but it seems lately that my collages are turning into scenes, and maybe I'm really connecting with my subconscious. So, like I said, I've been creating for 3 weeks now flowers for this prom, and what reflected today in my collage was a flower. Not what I was going for, but it does the thing. So you just do the thing, maybe what's inside of you and what you're thinking about comes out through your art, right? So we talked a lot about negative and positive space and how we need to take inventory of what's in our space now and how we can appreciate that. And for those of you are part of the community, uh, don't forget that we have the a monthly call. And if you're part of the founding member community, bring your gel plate. Um, we will meet this coming Saturday at 11 o'clock Central. Saturday evening, we have our craft showdown with Kara Brandon Creations and Paper Craft D. So it will be a lot of fun. You just never know what's going to happen with the three of us and our challenges that we will have. So make sure you turn into that. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, I will go live that morning at 4:30 a.m. Um, so that you could start your day with positivity and creativity and really embrace who you are and what the value you bring. We all have value and all our voices matter. So that's what I'm trying to do with the live is get my mindset in the right place in order to go to my 9 to 5 with a different mindset. And so that's a daily struggle for me. So that's why I'm doing this 100-day lives is to change my mindset. I'm seeing a change in my collages. I don't know if you followed along, but there's definitely a change in my collages as we've gone through this journey. They're a little bit different for sure. Wasn't expecting it. But with that, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art, and I will see you tomorrow.